Today we have a topic, the K-mode clustering algorithm under the introduction to clustering. As we know, we have seen the K-means clustering. And what is mean by the K-means clustering? Just let me give some idea in scratch way, then you can understand properly. K-means is a clustering algorithm, and this clustering algorithm, the data what we have used, that is completely followed by the continuous nature based. That is a point you need to keep in mind, and I have already explained this concept. But data is not bound by the only the continuous nature database. There's options, there's some possibility we can have the categorical data. Then on that kind of data, if we want to make the cluster, then how we can do, and that is the point we need to keep in mind. Just let me repeat the statement once again. We have the data continuous nature base, and definitely we can make the cluster without any doubt. This part we have seen to the k-means clustering. But data form we have the different manner, just like the categorical data or classification based data, just like the 0 1 or binary classification based data. Suppose that we had or we have, then how we can make the cluster of that kind of the problem at that time. K-mode algorithm or K-mode clustering algorithm is required. So before telling more detail about the K-mode algorithm of the clustering, of course, just let me have some quick idea, quick recap about the K-means clustering algorithm. So just what we have covered into the K-means. K-means is probably the most popular clustering algorithm, and thanks to this as well as its simplicity, as we know, it is the simplest clustering algorithm, as I told you, by learning the K-means algorithm. And it is able to scale, and we can easily justify our answer properly by the help of the K-means clustering. And it is more usable to the learning by the data scientist, student, researchers, and the person who are involved to solve any problem by the clustering way. So K-means is better way. Yes. And what are the steps we have covered into the K-means? Just let me have some idea over here. So the user or the people decide the number of the resulting cluster that is denoted by the K. So if you remember the clustering algorithm of the K-means, of course, first we need to decide the number of the or size of the cluster that is to be identified by a K. And after this point, from the this number of the clusters, we need to decide which is the centroid. Okay, that is identified by as a cluster centroid. And then we need to what we need to do. We need to cover the some important point, that is we need to check or we need to calculate the distance between the each and every data point to and centroids. And then again, what is the step we have done? We need to see what is the minimum distance from the center to the data point. So the data point will be moved or will be adjusted or will be the part of that particular centered, or that would be changed into the cluster. So that is the point we have already discussed into the practical, of course, as well. And now this would be step in iterative way. And each and every iterative process way, if you are moving one data set into the one data point into the another cluster, or maybe just close to the particular centroid, so each and every time the clusters, or we can say the centroid, will be updated, and that is to be handled by the centroid updation table. And this step is known as the Simon step. We have seen this part right now, and this is the beauty of the simple image clustering algorithm. Okay, this is the part we have already discussed. So you have to require to some important point, the because of the node date. Yes, we have seen node date because of the random initialization results may depend on the which points are randomly selected to initialize the cluster. This is the point because at the initial level we will choose the random data point as a initial clusters, or we can say the center. The most implementation of the algorithm thus provided to able to run the algorithm multiple times with the different random start, because each and every time again randomness will be applicable to like the centered, and after selecting the centered, again data distance, the distance between the data point and the centered we will calculate, and we don't know after the calculation we will identify by that minimum distance we are having of the particular data point to and the center, and then shifting your movement is possibility, or maybe the some data point was not part of the previous cluster. That is the point. And we have also covered that part also, a term that is remembered, if you remember in the practical we have also covered inertia. And this inertia I told you so many times, it is we have seen by the practical, that is some of the squared error and this can be identified by as a means of the sum of the square distances. That part we have already covered. So what on the objective should keep into the solving the K-means algorithm, that is the minimize the error. If you are minimizing the error, if you remember the ALGO method, so what we have noted down, the SSE, that is sum of the squared error, we have the minimum way, then we have the good inertia, okay, values we can say, just like this example, ALGO method. So in the ALGO method, what we have discussed in the ALGO method, we have the use volume of use size of the or use value of the SSE. Then what we have, we can say it is not a good point of choosing the kth value or number of the cluster. We can't decide. We need to keep in mind the point at which level we have the algoing of the point. So the algoing point or that point is identified by as a algo method, and that could be the optimum or optimized kth value, and that is we can say the size of the cluster. And this part we have already discussed previously. So this was the our quick review of the K-means algorithm so far in the practical and theoretical and numerically, of course, we have seen. Okay. So what is the best for? So where we can say it is best? It is best when we have the where we have the interpretability of the clusters may not be required when using the features of the supervised problem. This is the best. So general cases where interpretability of the cluster may not be required. But when using a feature of a supervised problem, if you remember the point, if you remember the in the A's we have taken and while comparing with the annual income or other factors we are measuring, so A's can be considered as a one kind of features because based on the A's we have decided the some annual income or some other parameter, and that by that case we can say this A's can be identified by as a supervised value or supervised data on that parameter we can say. So but it is not required, but interpretive of the cluster is not required. So from the age pattern there's no guarantee we can justify the particular annual income or the particular in the information we are having over here that may be the concept of that particular cluster. So that is not a good way to identify in simple way. So that's why the data we have used in the previous presentation practical term, we can say that is belong to the unlabeled because we don't know the annual income, the other parameter we are using that can be belong to the this cluster or that cluster. So everything depend on the number of the clusters, how many clusters we are using. And now problems what we have that can be quickly solution we can get and that provide the sufficient and see as I told you it is an efficient algorithm. The biggest advantage of the k-means clustering is it is an efficient algorithm to provide the cluster in simple way, and that's why we can say it is a k-means clustering algorithm. And now this is just a quick review about the k-means clustering algorithm. Now tell me any doubt over here, please tell me right now any doubt what we have discussed this summary. Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, so this is the point we need to keep in mind. An important point I can write over here. This K means is applicable when we have the continuous data, we can say. But when talking about the K mode, that is the point I was remembering. K mode. Before explaining anything, I'm just writing in simple way. K mode is applicable when we have the categorical data. Okay, so that's why I'm writing here for helping purpose. Categorical data. See, so I'm writing something here. I have written over here, and I'm speaking something over here. Listen carefully. K-means also does not perform well when in the presence of the categorical variable. Yes, it is written. And as for the K-medians, an implementation exists to leverage of the efficiency of the K-means on the categorical data. So K-medians, in the K-medians, we need to use the medians to determine the its value rather than the means. That part we have already discussed in the K-means. But K-median is not a part of the syllabus, so I'm not touching that algorithm particularly. I'm touching the K-mod because it is a part of the syllabus and it is required to understand because it is most applicable where we have the categorical data. So that is the point we need to keep in mind. So now we are understanding the K-mode properly. So what does its algorithm is saying to us? The point we need to keep in mind, no other special thing is required. We will understand this concept by the uh, numerical example. So I'm speaking something over here, please listen carefully. While k-means calculate the equivalent distance between two data points. That is the point you need to keep in mind, and that is the beauty of the k-means. But in the case of the k-mode, attempt to minimize the dissimilarity measure. That is the point, highlighted point you are required to understand. I'm just highlighting. K-mode attempts to minimize, k-mode is attempt to minimize the dissimilarity features. That is the point you need to keep in mind while learning the k-mode. Okay, so numerical of this problem will be little bit different from the its previous part, because everything we are managing over here in terms of the categorical data. And now need to continue. It count the number of the features. It count the number of the features that are not the same, because we are talking about the dissimilarity. And using the modes in lieu of the mean, k modes becomes able to handle effectively or efficiently categorical data. And that is the point again you need to keep in mind, using the modes in lieu of the means, k mode become too easy to handle the efficiently the categorical data. Handle efficiently categorical data. And that is the point we need to just keep in mind. Just keep in mind in your mind, instead of the k-means we can use a mode. But if you try to use mode operation instead of the mean on the category in the non-categorical data or condition data, then you are not saying I'm following the k mode. K mode is applicable when we have the categorical data. Else we can solve our problem k means. So why are you just changing your solution? That is the point you need to keep in mind. So the algorithm, what we are doing over here in the Euclidean in the k means, we have solved or we have measured distance by the equivalent distance. But in the case of the k mode, what we need to attempt? We need to attempt try to minimize the dissimilarity features or dissimilarity measures by the practical, by the numerical, of course we will see. And dissimilarity features means we are just counting the number of the features that are not in the same. And by using the mode operation rather than the means, we can easily handle it efficiently for the categorical data. And that is a statement which describes each and every point properly. And I have my algorithm simple way. So step by step, we will learn by the numerical way. So you can understand simple way. Now, this point is clear. Tell me right now, this theoretical part is clear to all right now? This theoretical part is clear to all right now? Yes, tell me any doubt over here?
No, sir.
Okay. So, where we can use the categorical database problem, or see, K-mode is applicable when we have the we need to do clustering on the categorical data. Then K-mode algorithm will be applicable. Okay, so you can understand this point right now. It is best for the when we data set contains categorical data exclusively. Data set contains categorical data exclusively. At the time, K mode is required. So this is saying to us K modes clustering. Mode clustering. Now, this is a problem. We have a problem. Now, you all people are required to keep paper and pencil right now and to solve this problem. Now, any doubt so far you have, or should we explain right now this numerical, or any doubt in the theoretical portion? If you have, please you can ask me right now.
No doubt, sir.
Use it.
Don't worry, algorithm step, we will see each and every step of the algorithm, what we are doing, of course, following by the our step. Don't worry. But before solving the thing, we need to understand what is the exact problem we have. Okay, so you all people are required to solve this problem along with me. So I'm expecting the answer properly. See, individuals we have the 1, 2, 3. The total number of the data we have the 10. Okay, And Q1, Q2, Q3, QR, these are the some columns which are having by the information in form the category base. You can see how many category we have, the A, B, C, D. How many category you have? The A, you have the B, you have the C. So how many category you have? You have the three different categories. These belong to the categories. Okay, so these are the categories. We have the category data. We can say this is the category data. Categorical data. Okay. So the problem is clear. Now what is the problem? From this problem, from 1 to 10 individuals, we will choose our cluster as we have decided into the K means to choose the centroid. So we will decide the our initial centroid that could be identified by as a our cluster 1, 2, 3. Okay. But what we have the ABC, ABC is a data value and that represented our information to categorical way. So we have the two, not two, we have the three type of the information over here. That is a categorical data. That is the point. Now, is it clear to all right now? Tell me, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 are the our important columns, or we can say these are the features. Okay, and each and every features contain the category. So we need to predict something over it. We need to make cluster properly. Okay. Now, this problem is clear right now. Tell me the analytical record we have. Step by step, I'm asking. Just tell me right now. The problem is clear. Just tell me. Speak something over here. Tell me right now.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Okay, so definitely I'm expecting the answer from the students, or randomly I can call any student to know the value when we need to decide something over here. And what we need to decide something over here? Cluster. So step number 1 is saying to us about the K-mode algorithm. Okay, so if I'm explaining the first step and second step, so I'm just explaining my step by the proof. So pick an observation that instance at the random and use that as a cluster. So what we are deciding over here? We are deciding the cluster. Okay. So observation instance in the K means, what we have done in the K means, if you remember, this step is basically saying to us in the K means, this step is known as the decide the centroid. Okay. Decide the centroid. Centroids. In the K means, we have done this activity by the decider centroid. Now, here I have chosen the 3 clusters. So it defines that what is the size of the K. We can say K equal to 3 we have taken. Why? Because we have decided this part. So in the K mode means K means here we have chosen the K value 3. Cluster we have seen over here 1, 2, 3 and so on. So no issue, we can do this activity. And now the cluster 1 we have seen. Just let me explain this step properly, then you can understand. See, 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3. These are the cluster number. Okay, this is known as the cluster number. While 1, 5, 10 is the row number which are decided as a cluster. So that will be belong to the this part. This 5 belong to the this part. This 10th belong to the this part. Right now, is it clear to all right now? We have decided the 3 clusters over here. As we have seen the K means, we need to decide the centroid or we need to decide the cluster means. Okay, so that is the point. So here we are deciding the cluster. We have selected the 3 clusters. Now, is it visible to all right now and it is clear to all right now?
Yes, sir. Sir, we can select as much as number of clusters like you.
Yes. First, before that, you must be known to that what is the maximum cluster you want to use. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't take, suppose in the out of the 10, you can't select the cluster size should be the 12. How you can check and how you can see this approach right now? Because you have the maximum data points that is the 10. So how you can check? There is no possibility. So the cluster size should not be more than the number of the data points what we have. Okay, so individual we have only the number of row 10. So you can't take the cluster size more than the 10. Okay, you can take the cluster size 1 to 10. That is the point you need to keep in mind. So we are taking any random values. We have selected our cluster size, that is 3. Okay. So from these cluster size, we have selected the 3 random values 1, 5, and 10. These are the column number, rows number. So accordingly, we will try to solve our problem. Okay. So from this point, people are required to solve this problem along with me. So please listen carefully. Now, so far everything is clear. Or any doubt you are having, please tell me right now. Yes, tell me any problem you are having at this moment.
Sir.
Just tell me any doubt. No doubt.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So next step is saying to us from our algorithm, that is compare each data point. Please listen. So what we have decided in the second point in the K means, we have calculated the equivalent distance. So I'm just writing over here in the K means. In the K means, what we have done, because little bit I am just comparing my statement with the K means. In the K means, what we have decided, we have calculated distance between distances, because multiple distances between centroids and all data points. If you remember, this is the activity we have done in the K-means algorithm. So in the second step in the K mode is saying to us, compare each data point in the cluster to each observation data point. Okay, any elements that are not equal to b plus 1, if they are equal, nothing is added. So why we are doing the, if are not equal, then b plus 1, why? Can anyone tell me why we are doing? Can anyone tell me why we are doing this activity right now? If element are not matching, then we will add 1, else we are not adding something. Can anyone tell me right now? Yes, tell me. Can anyone tell me anything over here?
सर वो इक्वल होगा तो 0 हो जाएगा डिस्टेंस, इसलिए.
So, see, no, again, you need to listen this. See, we are talking about the dissimilarity measure. K-mode attempts to minimize the dissimilarity measure. It means we need to count the number of the features that are not the same. If features are not matching with particular points, so we will add +1, or else if matching, so we are not following that part. No? That is the point you have to keep in mind. So we are, if they are equal, then nothing is added. That is a, see, each and every step is required. So let us understand this concept by the numerical way. See. So far, what we have decided, that is the point. Okay. So from this point, all people are required to solve this question over here. Then I can ask this question, the values from any one of the students. So now listen. First, I am explaining. This is a row 1. This row 1 will match by the, this row 1 will be matched by the, this one, cluster 1. Okay. So A1 is matched with the A. A1 is matched with the A. Okay, A1 is matched with the A. So if feature is matched, so nothing will be added. This is matched with this point, so we will add nothing. If this is matched, then we will add nothing. And this is also matched with this value, so nothing will be added. And this is at the last is matched with this one. So we are adding nothing over here. So for the cluster 1, because we have the 3 clusters, so for the cluster 1, for the first row, the value would be 0. This point is clear. Tell me right now, this point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now next we are moving to the, now this point is clear. Now I'm just explaining this concept once again to with the another point by choosing the different color. So now it's time to match with the another row. So what is the row we have over here? So in the next row we have the AAAABB. Okay, so this is the point you can observe over here. This point. In row A. So in the row A, what is the value we have? So we need to keep in mind. Okay. So before jumping to the row 1, next step is saying to us, from this cluster 1, I'm just explaining once again to all the people, then you can understand. If we are,
Excuse me, sir.
yes, tell me.
Sir, can you please explain again how did 4 come to C2?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm spelling this part right now. Don't worry. Okay. But before that, let me know. See, this point is clear. How we are getting the 0, because all features are matching, so we are adding nothing. So we need to put the 0. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 times 0 we are adding. So definitely what we have the 0 in that cluster. Now this point is clear. This point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let me explain how we are getting the 4, and that is the required part. See, this point is clear how we are getting the 4. So just let me explain the next step, then you can understand in simple way. Yes. Now this is one row is matched with one row is matched with the this row, and we got the cluster value 1, that is 0, because from this particular cluster this row is matched, and then we found that all features are matching, then we will put the value 0. Now next, that is the second cluster. This is second cluster, that see, this is, if this is C1 and this is C2 and this is C3. So now C2 will match with the its first row. Okay. So now first cluster was matched with the first row, we got the 0 value, and second will match with the its first row again, because we are on the first row. We are doing the calculation on the first row. We are not moving to the second row right now. Okay, so please keep in mind. C will match with the its first row. Can you tell me it is match or not match? It is match or not match? These features are similar or not?
Doesn't match.
Sir, not similar.
So C clusters, see, Q1 features of the cluster 2, that we have the C, and which is not matched with the actual data set we have over here, that is Q1, which is having the 1. So we are trying to match that part. So what we have the 1. So I can write over here 1. Okay. And then again this C will match with this part right now. Then you will see it is again not matched, then we need to add +1. Okay, and then C will try to match this feature, again it is not matched, then we will add 1 over here. B is matched. If we found that it is matched, then we will not accept this because it is matched, so we will put the 0. If you remember, if the features are matched, then we will add nothing, or we can add the 0, no problem, else we will do the +1. So I'm adding the 0 over here for understanding purpose. And this, you can see this A is not matched with the C. So again, what we need to do, we need to +1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1, what value we are getting? That is the 4. Now this point is clear. Tell me right now, this point is clear.
Yes.
Okay. So can anyone tell me what would be the value of the C3 for this row that to be matched with the third part? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, 2.
2, sir.
Okay, so 2. Can you explain how you are getting this value 2? Can you explain?
Sir, Q3 and Q4 are not matching. That's
Yes.
why we'll add 1.
Yes, good. Any other student who have any doubt over here, please you can ask me right now this question. Just tell me any doubt, any doubt over here? This point is clear? So
Yes, sir, clear.
see, so we were on our first row and we are trying to match with our cluster. So this Q3 and Q4 will be not matched with that feature. So these to be added over here, +1 plus 1. So we got the 2, and definitely we have this answer 2. Okay. So this row 1 is completed right now. Now, next step we will do with the row 2. So row 2 to each and every cluster we will match the features between the row 2 data and its cluster, and let us see once again. Okay, so I'm just solving a problem over here for the betterment. A problem, just tell me right now which portion I must use, then I can, where we have the 2, this value. So
Sir, in the slides, we are still in the first row.
yes, of course, we are on the first row right now. We are on the first row. This is the point you need to keep in mind. We are on the first row. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking right now. You have any problems? Please, you can ask me right now. So what we have achieved, 2 we got over here. You can tell me any value. See, row 2 is not visible over here. So you can tell me any value. So we can try to solve that what we can get. Tell me any value, tell me any row, so I can explain once again to with another example, then you can understand properly. Choose any row, choose any one row, 3 to 10, choose any one row. Yes, please.
4, sir.
4. So 4 I can explain with simple way, just like this. So this is C1 as we know, this is a C2 as we know, this is a C3 as we know. The features of this one will be matched with the this 4 row. So we have selected the row 4. So this features is matched with the A. Okay. So we will not accept this one. B is matched with the B. So we will not accept this one. 3 is matched with this one. Yes, it is not matched. So we will accept this one. So I can write 1 plus. Okay. And B is again, yes, not matched. So I can write +1. See it is matched or not. Yes, it is matched. So what the value we can write over here, that is 2. Okay, now let us understand with the cluster 2. So C is matched with the, so I'm choosing a different color for explaining purpose. C is matched with the A. Yes, it is not matched, so accepted. So 1 plus I can write over here. And C is matched with this one. It is not matched. It is accepted. So I can write 1. And it is not matched with this portion. So I can write +1 more. And B is accepted. This one. It is again not matched. So I can accept this one. And A is matched with this not matched. So I can write +1. So it would be your 5. It would be your 5. Okay. Same thing, I need to go with the cluster 3. So I'm moving to the cluster 3 with the different colors, and you can understand properly. Yes. So A is matched with the A, it's matched, so we will not accept this one. C is matched with the B. No, it is not matched, so I can take the 1. And C is matched with the B. No, it is not matched, so I can +1. B is matched with the A, it is not matched. So again, I can take the +1. A is matched with the C. No, it is not matched, so I can take +1. We have the 4. Now, these are the values we got by the 4. Yes, the concept is clear. Tell me any doubt over here. Is it
No,
clear?
sir.
Is it clear to all how we are getting the values?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So for cluster 3, you have taken the values of cluster 2. So that's why you were getting 4.
Yeah,
Now,
yes. I have selected the wrong part. I thinking because just let me correct this one. The just let me correct this one right now. Yes, yes, right. Yes, yes, yes. See, we have to talk the cluster three. So this is matched with this one, so we will not accept this one. B is matched with this one, so we will not accept this one. B is matched with this one, so we will not accept this one. And A is again matched with this, we will not accept. And C, so we got the all the 5 times. So definitely 0 plus would be the 0. Yeah, thank you for rectifying this answer. Yes. Now is it clear? So we got the value of the cluster with this row, that is 2, 5, and 0. It is clear right now? Tell me. So while solving the problem, please keep in mind. So can you solve its all the values? So I can give you 10 minutes. You can just calculate this its value. Okay. 10 minutes is sufficient to calculate the values. You can solve it.
So then from 3 to like till the end.
Just till the end. 1 to 10, you are required to get the values. See, like this one. You are required. See, this fourth part we have calculated by the our 2. Okay, what we got? Just let me go to 2, 5, 0. 2, 5, and 0. So you or people are required to fill this part right. Solve it, and I'm sharing the actual problem. Yes, solve it. Okay, you need the actual value, so I'm moving to this part, to these values. Okay, utilize this slide to solve your problem. Okay, I can give you 10 minutes. 10 minutes sufficient.
Yes, sir. Sir, please rub those inks red and those color.
Okay. See, first use this part right now. See, I think this is the better table by which you can assume. See, what the cluster we have obtained 1, 5, and 10. Okay, so these are the clusters 1, 5, and 10. So you can use this numerical record table, and you can add extra column, that is C1, C2, C3, and solve this problem from 1 to 10. So you are required to calculate each and everything properly over here. Then we will understand what we are getting and how we can move to the next step. That is the important part. So K mode we
So can you show the clusters?
Yeah, you see cluster, you can identify the cluster over here. See, we have the 1,
1,
5,
5, and 10. Okay.
1, 5, 10. Okay, no problem. You can see like this 1, 5, 10.
So, okay, sir.
Okay, so please solve this question, and it is mandatory to solve the question over here to all the students right now, because when you try to solve any problem during the class time, so definitely you will learn a lot properly. So see, something is not available over the anywhere, but we can have here. Then we will understand what is the flow we have, and through the proper flow we can understand each and every problem properly. That's why I'm focusing on the concept. Right now, I'm focusing on the concept, that is the K-mode clustering. So K-mode clustering is what we have used. We are using K-mode clustering only for the categorical data, and you can observe over here. We have all the information that belong to the categorical data. That is the point we need to keep in mind while solving the problem. Else, K-means is better, because everything we can do, or we can make the cluster by the K-means. But why we are moving to the K-mode clustering? Because when we have the categorical data, then we need to understand this problem like this. Yes. So I have just drawn properly over here, then you can understand what is the value which is having by the each and every individuals and its features given Q2, Q3, Q4, and Q5. Yes, solve it. Okay, who is solving and who have solved?
Solving, sir.
Solving, sir.
Okay, good.
Completed, sir.
Completed, super. Okay, those who have done it's okay. So I'm sharing the solution right now. Then you can match your the values, what the values are getting. Okay, so see, this is a solution I've shared right now. This was my problem. I asked. Now this is a solution. So as we know, the row one we have already calculated. Row five I have already calculated. Now, rest of thing you need to calculate.
Calculated, sir.
It's matching with the same values. You are getting the different values,
Yes, sir.
different values,
Those are same value, sir.
same values. So from this point, what you are observing, or just tell me right now, who's still solving, or you all people are solved.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, good. So just from this portion, have you seen the slide? No, what is the idea you have? So what would be the expected step? If you remembering the K-means algorithm, then what you can observe over here? In the K-means algorithm, after calculating the distance, we need to choose the minimum distance to determine the particular data point is close to the centroid, and that was our step. Am I right? Same thing we do over here. So can you tell me the what is the option we must choose over here? What is the thinking? What is the thinking you are having in your mind? What is the thought you are just looking at your mind? So see, this was the third step. Assign each individuals to the closest centroid. Okay, this was our value. We got it. So what is the minimum value we have over here from the each and every centroid cluster? C1 cluster, C2, C1, C3. So you can observe over here what is the minimum value which are having by the cluster. Okay, so let us understand this portion right now by this way. It is visible to all right now. Tell me it is visible. So I'm making full screen so you can see. You can see the particular step properly. So what you can observe over here, you are just following. Assign each individual to the closest centroid. Okay, so what is the value we have over here? 0 is the minimum value. Okay, you can accept this value right now with me. 0 is the minimum value. From this, we have the two minimum value. Here 2, here we have the 0 and 0 and 3, 2, 3. See, this is a case where we have struck where we have the all the values are we are getting the same. then we can choose any one of the values, C1, C2, C3, it's up to you, no issue. Okay, 3 and 0. So what we have done, we have tried to implement the third step, that assign each individual to the closest center. So what we need to choose, we need to choose the minimum value. Minimum value. That is a point value from, we have the term from pentode, or we can say the clusters. From the clusters. But at this moment, when we are having the same values we are getting, so you can choose any one of the values, doesn't mean. Okay, you can choose a C2 or C3 if you want. No issue. Now this step is clear, but this was the third step. So what was the first step? We need to pick the observation at random and use that as a cluster and compare each data point in the cluster to each observation which are matching. Then 0, else we need to use 1, because we need to focus on the dissimilarity feature. And third step is saying to us, we need to assign each individual to the closest endpoint. So how to choose the closest endpoint? Based on the minimum value. Okay, so we are, see why we are getting this value. So the point is clear. If you're choosing the minimum value here, it means this is determining, this determined that is a dissimilarity feature. So it has the highest, you can say it has a high dissimilar feature. Why? Because the features we are having, the features are matching with the dissimilar, so it contains the high value. So we will choose only those parts which are having the minimum value. So that is the point you need to keep in mind. So now it is clear to all right now. If you are choosing the minimum value, it means we can say it is closest to the particular, that particular data point is closest to the C1. So it is defined that this individual data point is close to the, or I can make like this one is close to the 0. We can say it is close to the C. Now this step is clear. Tell me right now, this step is clear to all the people.
Sir, what is that 4 that you rounded, sir?
4 means, see, 4 is saying to us we have the high dissimilar features, means it contains, it, see, based on the dissimilarity feature we are putting the value over here, the 4. Okay, and that is the algorithmic step. We need to focus on the dissimilar feature. It means C2 cluster does not following the maximum features with the row 1 values. Okay, so what the value we have, the key1, key2, key3, key4, and definitely it has the highest, or we can say the high dissimilar features. So features values, we can say these are the values. So this defines that it is too far from the row data point in the row 1 we have. That is the point we need to keep in mind. 0 defines that we are talking about its reverse part, dissimilar, that is similar. Okay, so we are saying that it is close to the C1. This was the map. Now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so assign individuals to the clusters, assign these individuals or rows what we have over here, chosen over here. We can say C1 can be categorized. C1 will be, or the cluster C1 contain the 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. We have the 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Now cluster C2 2, 5. 3, 5. We have the 3 and 5. So talking about the cluster C3, it belongs to the 4, 9, and 10. 4, 9, and 10. So from this portion you can categorize. Now this point is clear. So now we have made our 3 different clusters. What we have decided, why 3? Because at the early stage we have decided what is the size of our A. That should be 3. So based on this parameter, we have chosen the randomly 3 different clusters, and based on this parameter, we have categorized our information here. So now we have made the clusters. Now it is clear to all right now. Tell me any doubt you are having. Please tell me right now.
No, sir.
Okay. So this point is clear to all the people how we are getting the minimum distance or how we are choosing the minimum value. Why we are choosing the minimum value, not how we are. Why we are choosing the minimum value? Because it defines that this particular cluster centered is close to the this data point because it is representing the similar feature. Okay, and we have focused the similar feature, then we need to put the 0. So it defines that, or it tells to us C1 is close to the this data point. Same thing we have chosen the respectively, and we put the categorize the our clusters based on the this minimum distance. Now this point is clear. Any doubt you want to ask right now? Assign individuals to the cluster. Any doubt over here? Just tell me any doubt you are having right now.
No, sir.
So what is the next step is saying to us? Next step is saying to us, each feature should have the mode, most common response for each centered, and that is the point we have the mode over here right now, and that is the important step to here to define justify the k mode, and that is having by the k mode. K we have seen by the C. K we have seen the our number of the cluster. So that we have decided by the 3. So this part we have completed. But what is the purpose of this mode? Mode means most common response we are getting. So we have this part right now. Into the examination, into anywhere, suppose I am writing, solve the particular problem by the stream mode. Suppose I am giving this kind of question. What does it mean? Solve or make the cluster of the given data point by using the 3 mode. So what you are assuming, implicitly it's saying to us the value of the case we have decided that is 3. Okay, so 3 modes means case value define it question, that is a 3. Same thing we can say, understand if I'm giving any questions like the 5 more 5 means. So what does it mean? I'm talking about the case value as a 5. So do not get confused. You have to assume, you have to something, you have to understand the question properly. What I'm asking. Okay, so please focus on this point right now. So each question, so just like I'm giving the question like the 4 means. So you didn't tell us the 4 means. What do you mean by the 4 means? You didn't tell about the 4 means. 4 means I'm talking about the K means you can solve any problem. K means, but K value I have given to the my question that is 4. This is the point. Okay, so you need to keep in mind. So now come to the back to the our this algorithmic step right now. Each feature should have the mode most common response for each centered system. From this point, you need to understand the concept properly right now. See, from the C1, what we have observed. So right now I'm talking about the cluster C1. Okay, right now I'm talking about the cluster C1. Okay, if you remember the cluster, what the values we have decided, what the values we have cluster. If you remember the cluster, that was the A, B, C. If you remembered, just tell me yes or no. Yes, yeah, I need the answer from the yes or no because this is the most important step.
Sir, you want to know the clusters?
No, just as we know what is the cluster, we know. Okay. This time we are proving this is the cluster C1 and how many values or how many features which are matching with the particular cluster. So at the last, I have written the cluster 1. See, this time we are discussing about the cluster 1 only. So from the cluster 1, you can assume or you can understand A, B, C, these are the actual data values. And from this point, we have chosen the cluster 1. That is the point you need to keep in mind. Okay. Right now, don't think about the cluster 1, cluster and so on. So, see over here right now, C1, C2, C3. Okay, I'm explaining the C1, C2, C3 explain. So first we are choosing the cluster C1 to decide what is the actual value, actual data point which are holding by the this cluster. So with respect to each and every data point and what the features we can match, and that to be handled by our mode operation. So here we are handling this portion by the mode operation. So see, we have chosen the zero value over here, 2 here, 3 here, 2 here, and 3 here. So respectively, we need to choose only those data points rows or those rows which are belong to the cluster C1. So those are the 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. Now this point is clear. Tell me right now this point is clear. Why I'm choosing the 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 row? Because this time we need to work on the C1 cluster. Now this point is clear. And how we are choosing these rows based on its minimum distance. Now it is clear. Say yes or no right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. After this point, you can observe over here. So I'm just making different color for your betterment. Now you can observe over here A, C we have over here. So how many times A we have over here? How many times A we have? A. See, out of the 5 different values of the Q1, AAC, we are having the A, that is the maximized mode, or we ever getting the mode. So what value we can get of this value? A we can get. Is it clear? Is it clear to all right now? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
See, this time right now I'm writing over here. Now we are discussing about the cluster C1 now. So A we can get it because A is coming the maximum times. Just this simple funda you need to keep in mind. Now from BA, so I can write over here. See A we are having again A and C. So maximum we are getting the A over here. So definitely the mode we can get its value will be the A. From this point we can see BA. So I B A C A. Can you tell me what is the mode of these 5 data? Definitely A would be. Am I right? Or any doubt you are having? Just tell me. It would be A or different value?
Sir, A, sir.
Yes, of course. Same thing we need to apply with the Q3 features. So from this point, what we have the A, and again A we have, and again next time we have this value. Definitely we will go for the A portion, and here we are getting the B, and A, C, and B. If we get the mode of this value, definitely B will come. Same thing we need to see over here. C, B we are getting C, B, and B, and 2 times C we have more time. So definitely C would be. See, this is the values of the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. We will see. From this portion, you can check this portion right now. Q1 is matching with our mode value, that is A. Q2 is not matching, while Q3 is matching, Q4 is matching, while Q5 is not matching. So from this point, you can see, you can observe over here, Q2 is the feature which are not matching with this cluster Q1, Q2 point. So again, the step will go under iterative process, but before that, we need to check the C2 and C3. Okay. Okay. And this is a portion we need to check it. So what we need to right now have, see, I have done over here. So right now, this is a B, C. So here what we have the A, A, B, and C. What is this? This is actually updated. We can say this is the updated values after mode. Okay, after mode. Okay, so now this table is, we can say this table is known as the updated. This table is known as the updated cluster mode, or we can say updated cluster mode table, or we can say centroid or centroid. Here this is a portion which is not matching. Okay, same thing we need to check with this cluster C2, then cluster C3, and of course from this point you can observe over here, if there will be some point where the each and every cluster centered value of the Q2, Q1, Q3, Q4, Q5 will match, then we will stop our work. So this is a step by which we can get it. Okay. So step number 5 is saying to us it is again a iterative process. It's saying it is a iterative process. So what we need to do again, see, repeat step number 2 to 4. Repeat step number 2 to 4 until no change are made in the assignment of the individuals to the closest centroid. See, it is a iterative process. So these 4 steps, these 3 steps will go into the iterative process. Okay. So there are some changes, there are maybe some portion we can have. So now again we will start cluster 1 with matching with the our its data point, and then you can see over here this 0 was updated by the 1 and some values are updated. So now we have this final outcome. Okay, now we can see 1 2 6 7 8 we have, 3 5 we have, 4 9 10 we have again. Then again we need to get the again mode, and then we need to get check again. So this process will go on repeatedly. Okay, so that is the point you need to keep in mind while solving the K mode algorithm, clustering algorithm.